What's going on YouTube? H-Dub here, and you know we playing Raid, and obviously we have a new fusion like we do the first or second Thursday of every month, depending on when the month starts and you know where the day falls when the month starts. There's always going to be a fusion, guys. We knew this was coming. I've never seen people talk about a fusion champion this much. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I just want to start by saying this champion looks pretty good, right? I mean aesthetically, right? Aesthetically, he looks great. As far as his kit, I feel like he could have a bit more in his kit, but the kit is pretty solid overall, depending on your account, depending on where you are in the game, and depending on, you know, who you have to find synergy with him, right? All of this is going to be account dependent. He is a magic affinity attack based champion. He's going to do damage based on attack and speed, right? He's a skinwalker, legendary. We already know that, right? His kit though is very interesting, very controversial as well. A lot of people think it needs to be worded differently because people are under the, you know, the perception that this guy is going to increase the speed of everyone, but that is not the case. But let's go ahead and just look at the kit. So his A1 is a 3-hitter, and it's going to fill his turn meter by 5%. Decent skill for sure. A2 is an AoE, 75% chance of placing a leech for 2 turns. Heals himself by 10% of his max HP for each leech debuff placed by this skill. So he's going to be getting extra heals in there for himself. The A3 attacks all enemies, places a 30% increased speed buff and a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns before attacking. The passive skill, each increased speed buff placed by this champion increases their speed by 5 and stacks up to 100%. Obviously, he has a speed aura as well. On paper, this seems, you know, really cool, right? But it also seems kind of mad to me. I feel like to be usable in Hydra, right? For him to come in and replace someone in a Hydra team that I currently have, he would need to do a bit more than just place Leech because, you know, we have Hugo that's already going to place Leech, right? We have other champions that can place Leech. We don't know what the multipliers are right now. He would need to be doing crazy damage. Increased accuracy is, you know, useful. Increased speed is also useful, but these things aren't, you know, entirely necessary. They could, you know, allow you to have some different builds with the rest of your champions because you might not necessarily need to get increased accuracy. But for my account, I don't necessarily need increased accuracy. It could be useful though. I'm not saying it's not useful, but it could definitely be useful. And, you know, 3-turn cooldown booked. He's going to be able to get around to it pretty quickly, especially if he's increasing his speed. But I would need for him to do a significant amount of damage as a damage dealer to come in and replace someone in my comp. There are other debuffs that I feel like I need a lot more than I need Leech. And I already have champions placing increased speed. I have 2 champions placing increased speed in my comp already. If, you know, his passive was AoE, it would be a whole different story. I don't see him replacing Husk or Royal Guard as far as damage output. I don't necessarily even see him doing more damage than like an AoE HP burner does. So I don't know. I really need to see what the multipliers are going to be. This is, I feel like, a huge gamble for me to use my resources and go for. But I feel like for a hard fire night, it could be very useful. And that would be one of the reasons why I do end up going for this fusion if I make that decision. But even still, I don't have the other necessary champions to have like a successful hard fire night 10 composition. So kind of a mixed bag. Don't want to miss out on a fusion champion. Obviously, they could receive a rework later. But it's like, I'm not 100% sold on this guy. I do think he has the potential though to be great. I think he can shine if, you know, obviously you find champions that you can find synergy with him. If he had some freeze mechanic built in, he would absolutely be nuts for Fire Knight. So maybe, I don't know, maybe at some point they would add something like that. Like that would literally make him the perfect Fire Knight Hard 10 champion. He would literally be perfect if he had a freeze mechanic built into his kit. But, you know, you can find some synergy between him and, you know, maybe other champions and getting something going there. I don't have a Valk. I don't have Gory. I do have your Carl. We could use your Carl there, but still missing a Valk. I don't know that I'm going to pull for her because I don't want to be, you know, short of shards if I do decide to go for this fusion. But I would really be interested to see what you guys' take on it is. I've already spoken with a ton of people about it. There's been a ton of chatter on Discord about this champion. And yeah, I mean, he looks great. The champions always look great, guys. They always look amazing. But the kit is such a mixed bag for me. Like I look for Hydra champions to do, you know, at least like 3 things, right? So whether it's like revive, heal, or cleanse and block buffs, maybe decrease defense, HP burn, weaken, explode, you know, activating HP burns, buff steal, HP burn, decrease accuracy, you know, enemy max HP skill, decrease speed, decrease defense. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, champions that I use in Hydra that do like 3 things, right? Granted, Husk, he does 2 things, but I would say the fact that he's HP based could be like that 3rd thing for me. Like provoke on the A1, 2-hitter, enemy max HP skill, great, HP based, even greater because he's going to stay alive, right? So I don't know that this guy does 3 things that I'm not getting from the champions already in my compositions. But maybe if I put him in a provoke set, he could be crazy in Hydra because he's going to get a lot of turns in, especially in a Shamel comp. And maybe I could bring him in as a provoker, a DPS, get some turn meter, you know, for himself, increase speed, increase accuracy, maybe. But I would like, you know, I would need to test it. I would 100% need to test it. That's the only way I really see this, you know, me being able to use him on my account, right? This could very well work out, you know, astronomically good for some of your accounts. I need to see the multipliers. I need to honestly play with him myself. And that's not going to happen unless I do the fusion or I play with it on someone else's account. So it's just so hard to make a decision on this guy. But I would love to know you guys' thoughts for sure. Yeah, so please let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Until next time, guys, be good and be well. Thank you for watching always.